The Republican Party is in the middle of an intense civil war that has pitted its de facto overlord, Donald Trump, against some of the most influential right-wingers in Congress. The two sides are battling over Virginia's 5th Congressional District, where House Freedom Caucus Chair Representative Bob Good is fighting off a primary challenge from Virginia State Senator and former Navy SEAL John McGuire. The election takes place today. Here's why the GOP is split. Trump doesn't want Good to win because of policy reasons, because of some deeply held conviction. No, of course not, because Good endorsed Ron DeSantis as the Republican nominee for president while he was still in the race. So Trump, of course, has endorsed McGuire instead, because to Trump, every single thing is personal. It only matters about fealty to him and not actually about what you do for the country. Make Donald Trump great again. Meanwhile, a host of powerful Republicans have taken sides with Good, such as Matt Gaetz, Byron Donald, and Chip Roy, going against Trump on this issue, among others. But the scheming does not end there. Steve Bannon, who is usually a reliable Trump lackey, has actually backed Good. The first time ever that Bannon has been on the side of Good. On the other hand, Marjorie Taylor Greene has backed McGuire, presumably to appease Trump, because someone itching for that running mate spot, and she'll do whatever it takes. Kevin McCarthy has also backed McGuire, presumably because Good was one of the 8 Republicans who voted to oust him. This time it's personal. The race for South Central Virginia District is drawn a whopping $14.5 million in ad spending, mostly from super PACs that include some tied to allies of McCarthy who went after Good as part of a nationwide vengeance push against the fellow Republicans who voted to end his speakership. Good's allies have spent roughly $5.4 million, while pro-McGuire forces have spent $7.5 million, according to data from the media tracking firm Ad Impact. It was reported by Olivia Beavers in Politico. Here's some polling on the race. A survey released Wednesday by the conservative Virginia Faith and Freedom Coalition found McGuire leading Good with 41% support to the incumbent's 31%. 29% of survey respondents said they were undecided. So that's some of the details, more detail in a moment, but Cenk, your thoughts on the story.
Thanks for watching. Our audience has helped build TYT into the media giant it is today. Together, we can accomplish anything. Support our work and join us at tyt.com/team.
Yeah, so look, I'm torn on this story. Why? On the one hand, Donald Trump's a maniac who's obsessed with his own ego, and so Bob Good is his right-wing nut job as it gets. Can't stand Bob Good, and that's why Matt Gaetz and Byron Donalds love him, right? So this is not a good guy, and Trump doesn't care about ideology. The only ideology he cares is, are you pro-Trump or not pro-Trump? And it was the smallest infraction. Yeah, I get it, he endorsed someone else in the primary, but he didn't say anything bad about Trump. He purposely stayed out of it. And the minute DeSantis lost, he immediately endorsed Trump. He went to Trump's trial and stood there like a jackass. No, I will be your good servant. I'm so sorry, I will be your good servant. And Trump's like, not good enough, right? So why am I torn on it? Well, because it is a little bit of smart politics. And so I think Trump doesn't do it because of his strategy. I think he does it because he's a mob boss, and he thinks disloyalty is the worst thing you could have if you're a mob boss. And that's why mob bosses don't pick geniuses as their capos. They pick the guys that they think are going to be most loyal to him, because loyalty is the most important thing you can have if you're a criminal. Because if anyone turns on you, you're all going to go to jail, right? So that's why, again, Trump has broken so many laws throughout his career. That's why he thinks like a mob boss. In fact, he used to pal around with mob bosses and represented by lawyers who were the top lawyers for the top mob bosses, etc. Right? But in politics, incentives and disincentives work. And this is what a lot of people on the left don't understand. If you step out of line, there does need to be an enforcer that says you're going to get punished. Now, the Democratic Party understands this, but not to get the results you think you want. Trump wants it not for Republican ideology, not for MAGA, but for himself. Democratic leadership acts in a lot of the same ways. If you're a progressive, they're going to punish you for stepping out of line. If you're in the establishment, you're an insider corporate Democrat, oh, you can do anything you want, and it's going to have no consequences. So this is realpolitik, and this is Trump getting control of his own party. So you better not disagree with me 1%, otherwise I'm going to eliminate you. And that is the correct strategy.
Yeah, and to your point about Good now trying to suck up to Trump, he's been doing that quite a bit now, trying everything in his power to act like a Trump loyalist after the mistake of sharing his own opinions earlier. He reposted on Friday this post from the GOP, happy birthday to the best and next president of the United States, and a picture of Trump looking better than he's looked in about 9 years. And reposted by Good, but it gets more embarrassing than that. Bob Good was one, as Cenk mentioned also, of the many Republicans to show up in support of Trump at the New York hush money trial. Let's watch him explain in his own words why he went.
You stood with Donald Trump at his criminal trial in New York yesterday. You were standing right next to him, rubbing elbows with him. How's the president holding up under all this pressure?
He was doing tremendous. He was in high spirits. Obviously, he was angry and frustrated with this trumped-up charges, this sham trial, as the Democrat Party colludes with the Department of Justice and these rogue courts in New York and in Georgia to try to keep him off the ballot, to try to weigh him down with, keep him off the campaign trail. And they've got this gag order against him. That's why we went up there, so that we could say the things that this corrupt judge is not allowing him to say.
Yes, that's why he went up there. So he could speak for Trump, not so he could kiss up to Trump and pray to God to win his election. And to God, of course, we all know who his God is. And it's Donald Trump. So here's another example of Good's bootlicking. Trump's campaign sent a cease and desist letter last month seeking to block Good's campaign from putting the two men's names together on signs. But the Good team kept using and touting signs with Trump's name. To criticism from McGuire, who said in an interview that Good is trying to trick people.
No, a politician doing that? That's gotta be.
Despite all that, Good was unable to win Trump over, who posted yesterday, Bob Good is bad for Virginia and bad for the USA. He turned his back on our incredible movement and was constantly attacking and fighting me until recently, when he gave a warm and loving endorsement in quotes, but really it was too late. The damage had been done. I just want to make America great again. And the person that can most help me do that is Navy SEAL and highly respected state legislator John McGuire, a true American hero. John, who fought the cartels on the front line, then came home and fought the drug dealers in Virginia, will always put America first, unlike me, who had bone spurs that I made up and couldn't go fight. I had the safest border in history, built hundreds of miles of wall, and then crooked Joe Biden came along and ruined it, making it one of the worst human catastrophes ever in our country's history, okay? John and I will correct this situation and fast. He's strong on crime, will protect our great military/vets, lower taxes, and will always defend our under siege Second Amendment. Random all caps now. Virginia, get out and vote for John McGuire tomorrow. He has my complete and total endorsement, MAGA 2024. So, Trump's doing well.
Yeah. All right, last conclusions that are obvious. Even if you're the diehard MAGA, maybe even more so if you're diehard MAGA, come on, these Republican politicians are pathetic. You see them like groveling and groveling. It's humiliating. And these guys were the ones pretending to be alpha males. Okay, and secondly, he's like, you gotta put America first, or do you really have to put Trump first? And again, if you're MAGA and you are happy that they're putting Trump first, no problem, I get it. But don't pretend that Trump's putting America first. He's putting Trump first. That's super obvious.
For sure.
Yeah.
And also, in defense though of the MAGA base, they probably, what they're thinking is, if one day they acquire great deals of money and power, these politicians are so spineless, they might grovel to them. And you gotta respect them holding on to that dream.
Yeah, you know what? You get a reality show and all of a sudden you run for president. It could happen to you.
It could happen.
It could. Less likely though.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.